Auri, which is it's a new assistive listening product based on a new Bluetooth standard or new Bluetooth protocol called Auracast. And what Auracast is, well, Bluetooth, you'll know that as a paired device. So it's from your phone to your headphones or from your phone to your car. It's one-to-one. Well, Auracast is a little different. Essentially, this is a transmitter. This will send out Bluetooth over a very large area. Within that area, an unlimited number of receiving devices can pick that up. Now, the receiving devices, they can be anything from a dedicated receiver such as this. Now, to use one of these, this is basically scanning the area for any Auracast broadcast right now. And as you can see, we've got a few options there to select. And to use it, you would just pick the channel, and that's you connected. So it's as simple as that. So that's the receiving device. Now, with the receiving device, you can use something like the neck loop. So this is basically a mini induction loop. So this will sit around your neck. It's a nice long one, so it can go under your clothes, so it's hidden. And this receiver can sit in your pocket rather than around your neck, the traditional way. Now, if you're not using a receiving device, you can use something like one of these modern Samsungs. So I must stress, you do need a modern smartphone for this to work. So something with an Auracast chipset in there. Okay. And we're using this today with a pair of Samsung Galaxy Buds 3. These also have Auracast in them, so that's your buds. And the phone I'm using right now, it's a Galaxy S23. However, if you've got an S23, an S24, a Flip, a Fold, an A55, anything like that, they all work as well. So just to give you a quick demonstration on how this works. So there's no app required. We're just going to go into the phone. We're in settings, connections, into Bluetooth. You'll see my earbuds there. I'm going to hit the settings menu. And down there we've got Listen to Auracast broadcast. So we're going to click into that. That will find any Auracast streams in the area. And what you'll see here is some of these channels, these are unlocked. So these are standard channels that anybody can use. Some of them have the little lock symbol. They're encrypted channels, but where you're going to need the password to access them. So if I was to click on that channel there, that audio is now streaming direct from my earbuds. So one other thing I like to mention on that there is the transmitter there is not sending any audio to my phone. That audio is being sent directly to my earbuds. My phone in this situation is acting just as a controller. Okay, so it's not going from there to my phone to my earbuds. It's going from there straight to my earbuds. And because of that, you're getting a real low latency. It also uses the Bluetooth low energy standard. So because of that, you get a real low latency, a real world of about 30 milliseconds. 36 is about as high as it goes, but 30 is about your normal number. And just while we're on the subject of Bluetooth low energy, it basically means power consumption is very low. So battery usage on something like that, or even your phones or your headphones, that's also low as well, so you get extended battery life. But just to show you the transmitter on the back. So on the back, these come as a Dante or a non-Dante model. This one is Dante, so you've got your Dante port on the left. We've got two analog inputs, channel 1 and channel 2. This is quite interesting for me because we've got an output as well. And what you can use this for is you can have a Dante input and you can stream an analog out from there. So that will save you having to use a separate adapter, so it will save you some extra money during your install. You've got two power options, so we've got a Type-C port here, we've got PoE and your network connection there. Interestingly, with the Type-C port, that's a 5-volt connection. So what that means is if you're using just a simple 5-volt adapter, you can use something like a phone charger to power it. But more interestingly for me, it just kind of makes it a portable option because you can connect a power bank to it. So from a power bank, you could run that for a day. So just if you had something going on outside or a space where you don't have assistive listening in general, you may have to pick up one of these, a spare one that you've got lying around, power it wherever you need to power it, plug a microphone in, and you've got assistive listening in an extra space, for very little work, basically. That's the transmitter. Now, normally at this point, I'd do a live demo, but obviously this is the video. I can do the demo, but you guys wouldn't actually be able to hear the demo. It's a lip-sync-ish demo to show you what 30 milliseconds looks like. I'll have to explain instead, but Essentially 30 milliseconds of latency is very, very low. And what it means is, as I'm speaking through a microphone, and you'd be listening through your headphones or through your hearing aid, it essentially just means that my lips would match exactly what you're hearing. There wouldn't be any delay, there wouldn't be any noticeable delay. So you can use it in kind of any scenario. So if you're in a lecture or at the theatre, whoever's speaking would be matched up perfectly. It wouldn't be, it wouldn't kind of be awkward and, not enjoyable to watch. So I think that's pretty much covering off, what Auracast is, the transmitter and the receivers. If anyone's got any questions, I'll be more than happy to get them answered for you.
Yeah. So for security reasons, it's possible to have a PIN code or a QR code to kind of access those encrypted streams. So how would you distribute that? Is it an API where you can kind of pull out a PIN code, or is it like printing a paper with a QR code on it?
Yeah, so with the hardware comes some free software called Auri Manager. So through Auri Manager, you can manage the encryption in there. So with these receivers, as I showed you already, when you scan this, when you scan the area on this particular one, you will see 3 channels. Now we've actually got 6 channels on display today, but you're only seeing 3 from there. And the reason you're only seeing 3 here is because the other 3 are encrypted. So this receiver is set to only see non-encrypted channels. We've got the other side over there where we've got another setup. Them ones can see all 6 because the password's been entered, the encryption's been entered. And that's sent through the docking station straight into the receiver. So when you pick it up, if your receiver's enabled, you can see that encrypted stream. If it's not, you can't. So that covers off the receivers. Now for your phone or something like that, you can use a QR code. It'll be a third-party software that will do that for you, but it can be integrated with the Auri Manager so that the QR code's generated. You can walk up with your phone, you can scan the QR code, and I can send a set of commands to tell your phone to go through to your Bluetooth menu, into your headphones, connect to the correct channel and enter the password. So that can all be done with a single scan. So that is something that is possible to do, yes.
Would it be possible with one of the receivers to lock them? If you have in a room, it would be interesting to have a lock channel, and you have all these are kind of locked to that Auracast, and the user cannot change the Auracast channel.
Absolutely, yeah. So as I showed in there, we've got 3 channels there. I could set this so this can only see 1. So if you've got a room specifically for these receivers, this receiver can be set to only receive the channel in that room. You could have a master one, for example, in the same dock, whereby you may have this one which covers the room and the room next door, but this one's only allowed to be used in that room. So you can set these up however you like. That is all possible.
Yeah. Also for meeting spaces and stuff, have you been looking at, because you have the antenna inside the box.
Yeah.
Have you been looking at extending the antenna so this could be in the rack and you can kind of, or is it the whole point of it just being inside the room and using the antenna as the box? Yeah.
We currently have no intention of extending the antenna. There's not much reason, if I'm honest. If you guys could see the range testing we've been doing today, we've got the transmitters. They're up the top there. You can't see them from here, but we can take you around and show you afterwards. But the antenna's up the top there, and that is covering such a very large area in here that there's no real reason to
we also see from testing that line of sight is kind of the rule also. So the faster you go behind a small wall, it starts to break up like 50%.
It depends on the makeup of the wall. A stone wall, yes. In something like this, we're not having too many problems. In your typical builds nowadays, where it's plasterboard walls and stuff, you're not going to have too many issues through some walls. The one thing you can do with these is you can link as many of these together as you like. So when you're linking these together, you've got a couple of options. Okay, so if we've got one here, we can put another one down the way. These can be set to repeater mode. So what we've just mentioned there is you can extend it. So it's not essentially what you said in adding an antenna, an extendable antenna. However, you can make one of these an extendable antenna essentially by adding a second one in, or a third one in, or a fourth one in to cover as big a space as you like. The other option is when you add a second box in, you can add another 2 channels. and another 2 channels and another 2 channels. So as many channels as you like, just by adding them together. And when you're using the software, the Auri Manager software, they'll all just merge together as one seamless page, and you can control them all individually or as a group. So
that's pretty cool.
it is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.